And everybody. Oh, excuse me for the yawn. Still early morning here. Still a little tired. Alright, turn the volume up on the television. Maybe get some sound going. Anyway, my first video of this series was for the Paladin. I showed you guys pretty much how to do some damage output, gave you an idea of how the different abilities work. This video is going to be about the Cryomancer. And my previous video before this one was actually about the Lightbinder. As you can see, I still have the Lightbinder equipped. But now we're going to switch over to the Cryomancer, and I'm going to show you guys how you can do some decent damage output with the Cryo. Alright. Now, as I said before, the Lightbinder, Paladin, and the Cryomancer, which is this one right here, are all the starting out classes, the basic classes that you start off with in the game. As you can see, I pretty much have everything except for the Grove Walker, which I really am not interested in getting, but depending on how this series goes, I may very well get it just so I can show people if they're interested in finding out. Moving forward, I am now a Cryomancer with this weird hat on. Alright, so Cryomancer is the damage dealing class that you are given starting off in the game. Alright, Cryomancers are about crowd control and, of course, dishing out damage in general. Okay, now let's go to our training dummy friend over here, who I've killed a few times already. Now, first off, the abilities here. Now, last time I said I was going to do that, and I didn't really do it, so. What to do with these abilities. I'm trying not to ramble so much. Alright, so Icy Thorn. Okay, this is your main ability. Actually, no, I think it's R2. This right here. Ionic Pulse is your main ability here. Alright, this is the one you're going to be using most often in your fight. It deals X amount of damage depending upon your level to the enemy. Has a 60% chance to grant the Icy Meteor effect to the Cryomancer for 15 seconds, which makes the next Icy Comet free. Increases its damage and critical chance by 100%. Okay. Now it says something about Icy Comet. Where's Icy Comet? That would be square right here. All right, Icy Comet deals X amount of damage, points of damage to the target and all enemies in a 10-yard radius of it. Applies intense cooling, which reduces movement speed. Range is 30 yards. And again, this ability will increase how much damage this does by 100%, basically making it do twice as much. For me, that makes it 24.6k damage. Okay? Alright, now we're just going to go up here to Icy Thorn and Icy Dart. Alright? Icy Thorn deals X amount of damage to the enemy. Range is 30 yards. Activates Companion's attack. So basically it makes your pet attack with you. Deals 200% more damage to targets that have the cryonic suspension effect, removing it and knocking them down for 2 seconds while applying intense cooling. Cryonic suspension. This is a debuff. I'll explain that another time if possible. Alright, I'll try to get that later. Alright, now Icy Dart. Icy Thorn and Icy Dart. Alright, Icy Dart is, Icy Thorn is when you just tap the R1. Icy Dart is when you hold it down and fully charge it. Alright, deals X amount of damage to the target. Deals 3 times as much damage to shields. So this is a shield break ability. The attack also applies the fragments effect to the target that deals X amount of damage every second for 10 seconds. It increases the Cryomancer's chance to deal critical damage to the same target again by 15%. That I did not know. Okay. Range is 30 yards. Activate Companion's attack. It deals 200% more damage to targets that have the cryonic suspension effect, removing it and knocking them down for 2 seconds while applying intense cooling. Does it do that one for this too? Yeah, it does. Okay. Alright, that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. Alright, so basically, it's pretty much the same thing as this, just more powerful. and it gives a damage. It gives a damage over time part, and it also gives a critical strike buff or debuff to the target. So that's cool. All right, now we have Cryo Beam, one of my favorite abilities. Inflicts X amount of damage to all enemies along the path of movement. Once can consume twice as much cryogen to inflict 3 times more damage and grant. Wait. What? Can consume twice as much cryogen to inflict 3 times more damage and grant the Cryomancer a 50% chance to gain the Cryo charge effect for 10 seconds. Cryo charge increases the damage of the next 2 Icy Missile charge. Level 1 or Icy Thorns 2 times and makes them free. Nani? What? Wait. Increases the damage of the next 2 Icy Missiles. Icy Missile? What's Icy Missile? That's probably a PvP ability. I won't be surprised if it is. Hold on, I'm gonna check it real quick. Icy Missile, Icy Thorn, Icy Dart, Icy Comet, Snowball. See, this is the stuff that gets on my nerves. Okay, Icy Missile, R1. Wait, what? So Icy. So what is this? This gets on my nerves so much when they give different names for crap, man. There's Icy Thorn right here, which you tap. Icy Dart, which you hold down. Now there's Icy Missile. What's the difference? You know, like, when you have different names and stuff like that, there should be a difference. If you give 3 different names, there should be 3 different attacks. Alright, that's the stuff that gets on my nerves with this darn game. It confuses people. It makes them feel like they're missing out on something, or makes them feel like they're doing something wrong. Now, is it just that Icy Thorn and Icy Dart are part of the Icy Missile tree? Is that what it's supposed to be or something? I don't get it. It's so annoying. You know, I guess like they're all Icy Missiles. It's just that one Icy Missile is the Thorn and the other one is the Dart, I guess. I don't know. You guys really need to fix this crap, man. Because because that means that I've been missing out on damage. And now I gotta try it. Now I have, no, I'm gonna do it in a minute. We're gonna finish going over the abilities. I'll do it in a minute, okay? Alright, so Jagged Ice inflicts X amount of damage to every enemy. No, to enemy every second for 5 seconds. That's a little like, I think that's a little beam thing. Like your character will get on the bend the knee beam is what I call it. Will get on her knee and or his knee and like shoot this laser, and it'll like fly around the target and keep shooting with a laser. Does damage over time. You do not move. Alright, White Out is your AoE. Creates a 12-yard radius area. All enemies that enter the area take X amount of damage every second. Lasts 12 seconds. Every 2 seconds, intense cooling is applied. That reduces their movement speed. Intense cooling can only be applied to a target 3 times. They can only stack up 3 times. Alright, just so you guys know. I don't think they didn't tell you that in that. Anyway, Glacial Fangs inflicts X amount of damage to all enemies in a cone area in front of the character and applies cryonic suspension to them for 4 seconds, completely immobilizing and silencing them. Haha, cryonic suspension, which is actually used on these. Okay. So you can cryonically suspend people with Glacial Fangs and then hit them with one of your Icy Missiles. Freaking game. And that will increase how much damage they take. What is it? Deals 200% more damage to targets that have... And it knocks them down too. Okay. Alright. Moving forward. So, to Untitled Pulse. Then your ultimate, which is Frost Shackles, applies cryonic suspension to all enemies within a 16-yard radius, immobilizing and silencing them for 6 seconds. Inflicts X amount of damage when the effect runs out. The stronger the enemy, the shorter the duration of the effect. The strongest enemies that are affected by it take 2 times more damage. Okay. Alright, Northern Breeze, and that's your basically your killing move. Alright, now the passive Slide. Cryomancer gains a special dash slide. Slide allows the Cryomancer to move 15 yards in a select direction, leaves an icy trail behind. The trail applies intense cooling, which reduces the movement speed of enemies in the area of effect. Once the maximum number of effects have been stacked, the ice-bound effect is applied, immobilizing the target. Inflicts X amount of damage every second. Alright. Super cooling. The Cryomancer's critical chances increase by 30%. The enemies that have intense cooling applied to them, and by 50% for enemies that have ice-bound and cryogenic suspension. Alright. So this actually increases the damage of Sly and other icy effects. Okay, that's cool. Alright, now let's get to this freaking missile crap. Yo, I feel like I've been missing out on damage because of this. Okay. So, I need to hit the L2 and circle. It freezes, or it's supposed to freeze. Why did it not work? I don't want to use the other one because it'll probably freeze those guys and put me in combat with them. No. Oh, laser, that's what it was. That thing. Okay, that right there. Alright. So. Alright, it didn't take it. It didn't use it up. So, Icy Missile. So, this is the Icy Missile. Alright. This is getting on my nerves. Because this is supposed to be Dart. Alright. That's Dart. And that's Storm. But you can also call it Icy Missile now, I guess. Alright. Does it hit this thing? Okay, I'll find it. That's weird, because it said, hold on. Let's look at this darn thing. Let's look at it again. What did it say? Which one is it? Not that one. This one. Alright, so consume up to 3 times, so it'll be 75 energy instead. To inflict. No, wait. So 50%. Inflict 3 times more damage, so it'll triple it, making it what? So 20, 28, 32. 32,000. 32k. Basic? That's not bad. 32k. Grant the 50% chance to gain the cryo charge effect for 10 seconds. Increases the damage of the next 2 icy. Oh, it says in parentheses right there. I'm freaking blind. 2 icy missile charge level 1 icy thorns 2 times and makes them free. Okay, so I was just reading it wrong. I'm being an idiot. So I knew how to use it in the first place. Alright. Okay, so okay. Alright, now that I'm done freaking being a goofball. Alright, so usually when I'm Cryomancer, usually I started off with this attack here, with Dart. This is going to give them a damage over time buff. It actually does direct damage as well. Damage over time debuff. Alright. I hit them with this. Usually I hit them with the AoE attack as well, which slows them down. While they're stuck inside the AoE attack, I'll hit them with the, what is it? I hit him with the was it L2 circle, I believe it is. Yeah, L2 circle. No, L2 square. Hello. What the freak? L2 triangle. Ugh. Why isn't it? Respawn. Alright, let's try this again. Because I'm over here hitting the buttons and the junk's not coming up. Okay. So I hit it with this first. And then hello, you gonna do the AoE? Are you going to do the AoE? Are you going to do the AoE? Why isn't it doing the AoE? So, okay, so they must have changed it so that you have to hit the button and you can activate it, like you can activate where you want it. Okay, so you hit the button, it'll put up the circle so you can decide where to put it, and then you have to hit the button again to actually activate the attack, instead of just hitting L2 and triangle and then suddenly it'll pop up. So you have to hit the button twice now. Alright, now I know. Okay, I guess that prevents misfires. Alright, let's wait for it to recharge. And then we're going to do it again. Alright. Come on. There we go. Alright, so usually what I do... Wasting that. Usually what I do is... hit it with this. Fully charged. Hit it with AoE. And then you just basically go into your normal combo like that. Alright. So basically, well, the normal combos, there are the normal combos. So this, then in with the AoE. Then while the AoE is going, I hit it with the L2 square. And I'll shoot the little laser around them in a circle. Alright. Then the next thing, the next best thing to do would be to hit them with the boom. And if you have enough energy, hopefully it'll like there's a 50% chance that it will give you that extra damage, increase the damage by 3, and then you throw 2 darts because it'll give you a passive buff. Or stuttering and falling on my own words. That's generally how I do that. This. Yeah, but it still didn't give me the effect. Does it show it? No, it just showed it do critical damage. Alright. And that still doesn't freeze him. I don't know why. Because it's supposed to freeze him. Anyway, playing the Cryomancer really isn't that tough. You can pretty much like spam whatever abilities that pop up. The thing of it is that certain abilities are used more often than others. More often than not, I see people just using this, you know, and they'll like ignore the on-screen prompts, which is really annoying, which I'm doing right now. They'll ignore those, alright? Or they'll just like, they'll spam this until like it's completely gone. And then they'll just keep attacking like that. Whenever they get enough energy, they'll spam that ability. Alright? And they don't use any of the other stuff that they have. Alright? They might like run in and freeze the person in place, something like that, which isn't working. It's annoying. You know, every so often they'll do that. Or they'll just blast their ultimate like right at the beginning of the fight or something like that. I find it very annoying watching people play this class sometimes. You know, watching them play any of the classes is really annoying. Because you can pump out so much damage if you just read your abilities and use them properly. Like this one, you know, listen. If I hit him with this, he's going to have a dot on him, alright? Then I can hit him with this one. This is another dot. You know, then I can hit him with this one, which is basically another damage over time like that. And it just keeps going and on and on. If I hit him with this, if it works, there we go. Alright, it does triple damage. Then I can throw both of these at him. You know, look at that. Look at that. Ridiculous amounts of damage. This guy's already below 50%. Okay. And that's just like just with the first thing. Okay, it does a ton of damage. It also slows down the enemy, allowing you to use all of your other abilities and everything like that. And that's without having to go through the whole energy pulse thing too. Okay. But yeah, man, it really is a good ability. It's really a good way to use your abilities and stuff like that. Cryomancer in general is easier to use for people though, because of the crowd control you get with it. The ability to slow down enemies, keep them away from you so that you can kill them and, you know, do damage to them from a distance. The other two classes don't have that. Lightbinder specifically is the more difficult one to play. And that guy over there actually is taking damage. Both of them. Lightbinder is the more difficult one to play because it doesn't really have much defensive. Well, that's not true. It does have defensive abilities and everything like that, and it does dish out decent damage. But when you're playing like team play or dungeons and stuff like that, or fight against bosses, I believe the Lightbinder is a harder one to deal with. Because once your defensive abilities go down, then you're pretty much just left out there in the open. Right. Got everything else. Yeah, of course that guy took damage from that AoE. Of course he did. Yeah, that's pretty much it for this one. Playing this Cryomancer, playing this any of these classes really isn't that difficult at all. And why do those guys keep taking damage? Oh, it's probably because of my pet attack. That's what it is. My pet is doing something that's hitting them too. Yeah. Yeah. When my pet attacks, it hits him, then it jumps over to them. There you go. Alright, I'll have to change that later. Thank you, phone, or whatever. Alright, that's pretty much it, guys. Thank you very much for watching. This one was much shorter than the other ones was. Up on first. And we're gonna move on to another class. Yeah, I'm gonna leave it here for now, and I guess I'll just play the game a bit. If anyone's interested in learning about any of the other classes, I'll just wait until I hear suggestions and whatnot from people about these videos, and let others know that I made these videos. It was too freaking long. Thank you very much for coming through, and I hope you enjoyed. That's pretty much all I'm going to do for now. Have a good one.